Says we're going live, and now we're live. So, what's going on, guys? If it's your first time tuning in, this is John Madrid with Factory Direct. All right. Real quick, just so you don't get paranoid, I'm not calling you from the toilet. I'm sitting here in this huge soaker tub in the master bath. You have dual vanities, and then if you see in the reflection over there, you also have a stand up shower, plus all of that storage space behind me where the towels are at. So if you ladies are looking for a beautiful home, we have it. Okay. Actually, right now, this month, we currently have, I'm going to pull out the floor plan for you guys. We currently have the one that I'm in right now. Sorry about the noise there. I'm in the Lila. It is a single wide, 3 bed, 2 bath, right? 16 by 76. Gorgeous house, very well decorated. So it's about 1,200 square feet. So if you're a small family, let's say a couple with some kids, it's going to be more than enough space for you guys here. Kind of give you some highlights, right? I don't like to kind of forget. When you see these walls, they're not going to be that panel from 1980. All right. It's actual sheetrock. Sometimes when you guys see these little batten strips, which is what they're called, you might think to yourself, well, I don't like fake walls. They're not. It's just a different type of sheetrock. There's really only two kinds. There's the vinyl covered, and then there's your kind that just comes with the gray wallpaper that traditionally your builders will texture over, right? And even those walls have this gap because that's all this is for. It's just to cover that gap up. They just put the mud on it, sand it down, and it looks like one piece. So it's the same type of material. Okay. So this one, let me just kind of give you one of the benefits. If you guys are watching and you have kiddos, even if they're grown up now, did they ever get their Crayolas out and go to town on the walls? If they did, now in the texture, I'm not saying it won't come off, but it's a little harder because it's paint. So if you scrub too hard, then you end up basically pulling the paint off of it. Here, because it's vinyl, just wipes right off with a Clorox wipe or grease lightning or whatever you use to clean. But either way, guys, I'm coming to you live here at the Lila in Stonegate, which is located at 1320 North Fairgrounds. I'm going to be out here pretty much every day, Monday through Friday in the afternoons. So if you guys want to come out and check it out in person, just shoot me up on my direct line, which is 432-201-1105. Okay. And again, we have 3 homes out here. They're not going to last long. Our goal for January 24 is to get them all sold by the end of the month. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I don't need a house, I just like the info, we'll get paid for a referral. Okay. Because, matter of fact, let me put that in the little chat box. So we normally pay $1,000 per referral. But this month only, which I'm going to put Jan 24, we are going to pay 1.5K. So in other words, $1,500 per. Okay. So all you have to do if you have, which again, I'm going to shoot a different video about the process of the referral, is give us a text. Just shoot us a text. Again, just shoot it directly to my number, 432-201-1105. Just say, hey, my name is John Doe. My referral is Jane Doe. Her phone number is blank and her email is blank. So we need name, number, and email. But make sure you let them know. Don't just send us people you think may be interested, because we don't want to bother people who aren't in the market. We want to reach out to people who need help and need our help specifically, okay? So either way, there's $4,500 up for grabs right now if you refer us 3 people. So on average, every single month, 100 houses are sold out here in West Texas. We only have 3 right now that are going to be sold. So let's get them sold, and let's sell them this month. So make sure if you're watching it, press the like button, click that little bell to subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 followers, this year, but hopefully in the next couple of 60, 90 days, something like that. So let's make it happen. Okay. So either way, today's video, or this particular video, because we've shot a few today, is called The Cost of Waiting, or does it cost to wait? Right. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, you're going to tell us it does because, you want to make a sale or whatever. Well, we do want to make a sale, but that's not why it costs more, right? So instead of just saying it does, I'm going to clean off my lenses a little bit, if that's okay. We're going to break it down for you. We're going to tell you why and how it costs money. So we're going to use, and I like to use numbers because I'm a numbers person. So I like to use numbers and kind of break it down for you on how we get to this number. I'm not going to just pull a number out of thin air and say it does go up and how much, I don't know. It's more. No, I'm going to give you a real example that you would be able to use a calculator for and actually Google and research these numbers, these examples. Okay. So just because I like to make the math easy, we're going to assume $100,000 loan amount or house. All right. So if it's $100,000 house, there's a few categories. There's more than these, but I'm going to talk about 4 categories that affect the cost. In other words, that will cost, or rephrase that will influence and make it cost more because you waited. All right. So category number 1 is the risk of price increases due to the following factors. All right. So we know that materials always go up, right? And when I say materials, I'm talking about anything. I'm 42 years old, and I remember my mom telling me when she was little that they could go buy a burger, fries, and a drink for a quarter. Now we're talking about $12 if we're lucky. But either way, milk's gone up, eggs have gone up. The last couple of years, I know if you watch the news or whatever, lumber's gone up, gas is at an all-time high, all that stuff, right? So when we talk about materials, we're going to keep it simple. Lumber, steel, sheetrock, fuel. So if we keep it conservative, on average, the increase of materials is about 2 to 3%. Okay. It's not anything crazy. We're not saying it goes up 500%. It goes up. It goes up 2 to 3% year after year. So if it's 2 to 3, we're going to say 2.5. And if we're talking about $100,000, right? And again, let me just recap. We're using $100,000 as an example for a loan amount or sales price. We're going to use 10% interest just just using a number. And we're going to use 23 years for this example, which is 276 months, which I'll shoot a whole nother video on how to pay your home off early. So don't get paranoid. I don't want to be alone for 23 years. You're not going to be. All right. We're going to help you get that house paid off sooner than later. Okay. So either way, so we got that 2 to 3% increase in material costs year after year. So we're going to do 2.5%. If you take a calculator out, 2.5% of 100 grand is 2,500, but that's per year. Now, if you have a loan for 23 years, again, you shouldn't be in a loan that long. We can show you and educate you on how. Well, guess what? That's $2,500 for 1 year plus the 10% interest over the 23 years. I've already got this stuff memorized. It's a little under $6,400. It's like let me give you the exact number. It's $63.97 with 55 cents. So just for argument's sake, I'm going to round it up to 6,400. Surely you guys could use that 6,400 for something else. That's a down payment on a car. That's new furniture. That's a vacation. Don't give it to the bank if you don't have to. And why wait if you don't have to, right? As a matter of fact, as I'm talking about that, I'm going to put the link in the comments, and it should be also in the description for the application. We don't even charge you to apply. We want to go to work and do our job and get you an approval before you even give us any money. All right. So we're talking about $6,400 if material goes up 2.5%, which is realistic. It's what it's been going up on average for the past 20, 30 years. All right. So then the next thing, so the risk of interest rates increasing by blank. So again, it depends on how much it goes up, but you guys know because it's in the news and it's nationwide that the interest rates went up and they're fixing to raise them again. And I think they went up like 2 or 3%, but let's be conservative and just say that they went up 1%. So if they go up 1%, right? So you go from 10 to 11. Again, we're just making up numbers right now, but these are real numbers. And I say real numbers, those rates are realistic right now. Okay. So if let's say you decide, I'm going to wait till next year. Well, you probably already waited a couple years, but if you do wait and it goes up 1% on that 100 grand, that's another $69 a month that your payment went up. So that's a gas bill. That's, helps out with groceries, something. I mean, again, if you can't use an extra $70, I'll take it. All right. And then also on the other example, I forgot to, I skipped over that a little bit. On the 2,500 increase on materials, that's an extra 23 bucks a month. That's your Netflix subscription. That's Hulu. That's something. That's gas, right? So between interest rate going up 1%, and again, even recently, they went up 2 or 3%. But if they just went up 1%, we're talking about 70 bucks a month almost per month over 22 or 23 years. That's $19,272 plus the $6,400. So now we're talking about $25,000 that you spent because you thought it was a good idea to wait. Why wait? Why wait and hesitate when you need to try and apply? All right. All right. So then the next category, lost rent while making a decision. And what it means lost rent is that if you're watching this video and you don't already own a home, you're renting most likely, or you live with family, which if you live with family, you're on borrowed time, my friend, because they, even though we love you or they love you because they're family, they don't want you living there forever. Right. But either way, let's just assume that if we take an average, and this is a low average because rents are going up every month, every year too. But let's say you pay $1,500 a month in rent. That's $18,000 a year that you're paying in rent. And if you think to yourself, I've been paying rent for 10 years, you spent $180,000 that you put in the landlord's pocket that you could have put towards your home or already paid it off or whatever. Okay. So again, I'm just trying to save you money. I'm trying to sell you a home. Yes. But I'm trying to educate you on why you should buy now instead of later, because waiting is never a good thing. And it doesn't matter if it's going to the gym, eating better, losing weight. You should do it now versus later. All right. Now, I'm not judging, just trying to educate you. So we've talked about material prices going up 2.5% on average per year. That adds $23 a month to your payment, adds $6,400 to your loan. If your interest rate only went up 1%, that's $69 a month, almost 70 bucks a month over 23 years. That's $19,272. And if you paid rent for the past year and you're paying the average about $1,500, that's another 18 grand. I mean, we're talking about major bank. I'm talking about just way more spending than you need to. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the lost tax benefit. So on average, again, you may be thinking to yourself, I don't want to pay interest. Neither do I. But at least you get to write it off at the end of the year. So whatever you're paying in interest, you get to write off a percentage of that. So on average, using this same example, you get to write off a specific percentage. Let's just say 25% or whatever. That we're talking about a $2,000 difference in your return. So we're not talking about only writing off $2,000 of interest. We're talking about if you're used to getting $5,000, if you bought a house, you'd get $7,000 instead, just by being a homeowner. So you might be thinking, well, I don't need the $2,000. Well, I do. Throw it this way if you don't want it or need it. Again, guys, I'm just messing with you. I'm trying to educate you on why it's not worth waiting. All right. So again, we talked about the price of materials going up, your interest rate going up, the rent you paid, and also the interest you did not get to write off and increase your tax return. So by the time you add up those four buckets, we're talking about $45,755 that you wasted by waiting a year. And again, don't panic. If you've already waited 5 years, the best thing to do is pull the trigger today. That's why I'm making it super easy. I have no money down to do the application. I'm going to go to bat for you, try to get you the max loan amount, lowest rate, lowest term, lowest down, best everything. Okay. So, and we're here out of West Texas, but we service Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. All right. So again, guys, it's your friend John Madrid with Factory Direct. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. I just gave you a 15-minute lesson on if you wait 1 year, $45,000 you just lost. Okay. We could all use an extra 45 grand. So let's do it together. All right. You can call or text me direct at 432-201-1105. I look forward to speaking to you and your family soon. And let's make it happen. As a matter of fact, let's get you this house, the one that I'm standing in. Again, if you just popped in late, I'm not on the toilet, guys. We're here inside of the soaker tub in the bath, just trying to give you some different perspectives of the home that we have available out here. And right now we got 3. All right. So we'll see you soon. Give me a call, text, email, whatever works for you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.